Yes, we are live now.
All right, great. Shall we get started?
Yes.
All right. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I am so glad that we could have this session today. I'm Janet Samuel. I'm working with the Able Mind as a consultant psychologist. I will be taking the session on self-worth and identity in later life. So let's get started. A little bit, I will start with a brief introduction on what it could look like and uh, what is this phase like, right? As we age, our senses of identity and value often changes, influenced by life experiences, societal expectations, personal challenges, many of us can find ourselves questioning our place in the world or the roles we once played. But the truth is, no matter where we are in life, our worth remains the same. We are here to explore how self worth and identity are not only shaped by what we have done but also by how we view ourselves in the present and how we can embrace our unique stories. This session is designed to help you to reconnect with your authentic self, nurturing your self esteem and understanding the deep value you hold, no matter your age or stage of life. We will discuss some practical ways to strengthen your sense of self worth, including cultivating self compassion, setting healthy boundaries, acknowledging the strengths that you bring to your relationships and community. Together, we will reflect on how life stages offers opportunities for growth, meaning, and fulfillment. Remember, self worth is not dependent on external validation or past achievements alone. It is something that resides within you, always ready to be rediscovered and nurtured. So let's embark on this journey with open hearts and minds and empower ourselves to live with a renewed confidence and pride. To understand self worth and identity issues better, let's take a look at symptoms that can indicate that you might be dealing with self worth or identity issues. Self worth identity issues can manifest in various ways in emotional, behavioral, and psychological symptoms. These symptoms may vary in intensity and can significantly affect an individual's quality of life. Here are some common signs to look out for. Feelings of worthlessness or low self esteem. So, everyone does experience low self esteem or worthlessness at some point of their life. But as you move towards your old age, it can be more intense and scary because it's a strange new feeling. Because often we feel that, like, if we have dealt with it at a younger stage, due to any challenges or situations, it isn't supposed to resurface. But unfortunately, what happens is in every stage, we do have some concerns and challenges that we face. And sometimes these concerns can also resurface. It might have been something that you have dealt with when you were younger, but there is a possibility for the same concerns to resurface sometimes. So, at this point, how do we know that the same concern is bothering you? So, you might often feel within yourself, and you might express that you feel useless, unimportant, or inadequate. You might be also comparing yourself to others, um, and focusing on maybe the setbacks you face or shortcomings you face currently. And it might be very difficult for you to also recognize whatever contribution you are currently making. And this can become an hindrance from, feeling adequate to feel content, right? Moving on. So next is social withdrawal or isolation. So social withdrawal and isolation is again something that you might have faced previously, but this is more intense because you might not want to engage with people, avoiding any kind of activities, anything that you used to enjoy, any kind of interaction that you used to like. You tend to avoid it or limit it. Um, Recognizing that you might be become more dependent, moving from the identity of a parent or a provider. Maybe you, usually this comes up after retirement, where you feel like you are the one who is more dependent on the other person, as opposed to you being the provider previously. Right, so this can also make you feel like you are more dependent on people now. While this can initially feel like a relief, it can also feel like you are not doing enough anymore. So that can be a really heavy and difficult feeling. Perfectionism or excessive guilt. Holding on to different tasks, like maybe you were able to do the task more, um, like you could multitask or you could do it differently before, but you're not able to because of the limitations that have come up. So once again, you might feel really troubled by it, and this could be one of the symptoms through which, like, you can understand that maybe you are going through a difficult time. Cognitive or emotional decline. A noticeable decline in decision-making abilities, memory, or concentration, which can be linked to emotional distress or lack of self-confidence. This can lead to mood swings, irritability, or frustration with yourself or even others. So, this chronic sadness or depression can be really difficult to manage. So, it becomes really hard to deal with it. There is also a discomfort with aging or appearance. So you might be used to dressing up in a certain way, or you might notice that, like in your appearance, it's more recognizable that you are growing older. So you might worry about the significant changes, physical changes that might be there, and it might be frustrating for you to not be able to dress up the way that you want to, um, or you used to. So you also might be making unhealthy comparisons to younger generations. So it is very unfair to actually expect you to yourself, like a generation that was not real. Of course, you might be familiar with a lot of technology, and um, you might know the basics, but uh, whenever there's an instance where, like, younger generations seem to be more um, like more equipped to handle social media or any other technological aspects like that. And it is very unfair to beat yourself up when you're not able to be on the same level. It might be upsetting. It can even lead to you feeling resentful or jealous towards younger family members who seem to be more able to handle these situations, right? So, reluctance to seek help or show vulnerability. It is natural for all of us to feel like we are targeted whenever we feel very vulnerable. While it doesn't have to be that way, it can be hard to move away from that feeling because you are also dealing with a lot of new changes, which can be sudden, which can be overwhelming. Very often, people go on and live like, they don't feel like they have grown older because maybe they are constantly engaged in their day-to-day life, every day making sure that they go to work, making sure others at home are taken care of. So usually you just go with the flow, daily life, and then when there is retirement or suddenly you'll have to you notice that some challenges coming up and you're not able to work anymore. So these kind of situations again can lead to anger and frustration. So it can be hard to be vulnerable and to accept that this has just been a difficult experience in the beginning, and this can eventually result in a lot of anger and frustration towards yourself and others. There can be a level of self-neglect as well, be it a personal hygiene or in your appearance, or maybe it is even with regard to trying to make sure that your physical health is on point, trying to avoid going to medical appointments or taking medication. Disconnection from past roles. So this can be a really scary feeling because you are moving into a whole new identity. As I said, like previously, moving from a parent, moving from a provider to become a person on the other side. Uh, it it can be a very difficult change, and it can also lead you to feel really overwhelmed, and you feel lost about who you are and what do you contribute anymore. So you start questioning yourself in a lot of ways. And there is a level of regret and unfulfilled dreams as well. So we all from time to time feel that, like, we missed out on opportunities or find it difficult to come to terms with the fact that certain things happen the way they did. So this can be hard for us to, like, accept as uh, everything, like, your life slows down a little after retirement, or you have to, like, uh, settle down to these new roles. It can just be a little too much, and you might not have the same number of tasks that you were expected to do before. So this again can make you think about a lot of things that um, was of your younger years. So that can make you feel regret and feel like you've missed out on opportunities. So we looked into some of the symptoms. Let's look into the causes of why this could be happening. Um, so retirement and loss of work identity, of course, is something that we have discussed. And so we will When you look at it, as I said, there's a lot of things. Like when you are working, when you go to work every day, you are being engaged on day-to-day basis. You go to work, you have a particular set of uh, roles to play, you have to do uh, get certain tasks completed. You get all that sorted, and uh, even if it is not a constant appreciation for what you do, sometimes maybe the contribution you made makes it like, someone in the team or your friends, your colleagues, anyone could at least like acknowledge it. They might recognize it, and that is a really nice feeling to have. And it helps you recognize that you are doing something purposeful on day-to-day basis. So this is one aspect of what retirement sort of takes away. It is also that, um, as I said, like you might be bringing in some level of like, monetary uh, benefits for yourself and your family. So this resource is also not there anymore. Maybe uh, the change is really difficult to deal with because you have stayed busy from morning to night for a really long time. You are occupied completely with work and then home, um, and suddenly the biggest part of your day is like not there anymore because you are retired. So it becomes very difficult to understand what do you do during this time, right? So there's also health decline. So the health is impacted in various aspects. Um, Naturally, as you get older, there might be some health concerns that come up, and these health concerns um, can be really tough to manage because so far you might be a lot more independent. If you have any chronic illnesses, it might get a little more severe at this point, and it can all bring up a lot of limitations to the way you functioned as a person previously. Loss of loved ones, loss of friends, spouses, or family members can again create a feeling of loneliness and isolation. Grief by itself can be really tough at any point in life. Grief can be really painful and difficult to deal with. So, at this point, when already you are dealing with a lot of changes in life, as you are going through this grief of losing a loved one, it can be very painful, and it can also be very hard for sometimes people to even relate to what you are going through, because the grief that you might be going through um, can be different from what other people can um, understand and comprehend. So that is another thing that can really be heavy to deal with during this stage of life. Social isolation. So this is the stage where social interaction could also become more limited because you start depending on other people, your family, your friends, uh, to come see you or to take you outside. It can bring up a lot of limitations where um, it becomes hard for you to stay in touch with people. Generational shifts. So, yes, again, settling in your life might get into a slow pace where you have a lot more free time. And that's when you start noticing this a lot of cultural and technological changes in the recent times that you, might again be hard to deal with as you need like some new ways to connect with people, or the general topic or discussions again becomes very different from what you might be interested in, financial strain, so economical change. So obviously after retirement, the most of the revenue or the income that you see might be either the pension or some limited amount of money, which might not be the same that you used to receive before, that you are used to before. So it can be difficult to go through that transition and to recognize or even to depend on others, other family members, uh, for any support or if you need anything. Okay. So as we discussed, a role transition. So role transition again comes back to the same topic of like how we move from being the primary caretakers, the providers, to becoming the people on the receiving end. From moving from having making sure everyone is taken care of to be cared for. While this can again bring can be seen as something um, that is natural, like you have taken care of other people for so long, and it can feel like a break, but it can also bring in a lot of insecurity or and questioning what your role is at this point at home or in your family. Cultural expectations. So again, the highlight or everything mostly will be focused on younger generation and youth and beauty. So as you are going through all of these changes, trying to accept and adapt to this new role settling in, it can be challenging to think about like the societal and the norm, how there's something called ageism, where there might be a level of discrimination based on um, your age, which can be hard. Like while you um, are still moving and settling in with this new stage in life, it can all be a little too overwhelming. Mental health conditions are similar to physical health concerns. Mental health concerns can also resurface, or you might begin to experience um, anxiety or depression or any other mental health concerns, which can be new and it can be really scary to go through, right? And lastly, again, a lot of regret or maybe unfulfilled dreams can resurface as you have more time. You might give it a lot of thought. You might be um, thinking about your younger days. And while it can be a good thing where you are able to recognize what life was like and to go through your experiences in life. It can also be the other way around where it might end up making you feel like you haven't done enough or you haven't taken up on a opportunity that meant a lot to you. So as we have um, gone through quite a bit so far, we have looked at symptoms, we have looked at causes, and we even looked briefly into what um, moving into this phase of life can be like, right? So I would like to uh, request all of our participants to kindly uh, be interactive and engage in some of the activities we are about to do. So to start off with, I just want to encourage everyone to share your own personal experiences uh, based on like, moving into this new phase of life. What are the changes or challenges that you saw as you grew older? So anyone is welcome to uh, share their experience. It's okay. Like you don't have to. You can just share whatever comes to your mind. You don't have to like think about it much. Like just say whatever comes to your mind. You can also share uh, experiences of others. Like you can, if you can think of any other ways through which you noticed uh, older adults going through, anyone at home that you have noticed, you can share that as well. Anyone? All right. In that case, I think we can move on. Um, I hope um, we can try to keep this session a little more interactive. You don't have to worry about what you are responding. We are just here to just share our experiences and learn. So yes, all right. So we'll look into some management techniques, you know. We look at various aspects on like how you can work through this uh, time because this surely is a difficult experience. It can be challenging. So let's just go through a couple of ways you can, make it easier for you to transition into this stage, right? So first is, of course, building social connection and engagement. This is one of the vital and the most important aspects of our uh, life as humans because um, social life is very essential for all of us. So, of course, this plays a huge part in this stage as well. Some of the ways you can build social connection and increase your social engagement is to try to join a social group. It could be sometimes because of the day and age that we are in, you can even join online groups. But then, if you are someone who'd like to meet people in person and connect with people, then of course, you can do it in offline community groups as well. So this could be any kind of clubs or like hobby groups, volunteering. So this could be something that you can try out. So social groups is basically whatever you can explore your own personal interest at this point, whatever is interesting, not just something that you used to do. Sometimes the hobbies that you used to do when you were younger might not um, be the same you want to try out now. Maybe you have lost touch with it, or you just don't want to do those activities anymore. That's all right. You can join social groups that fit your interests right now. This could be book clubs, hobbies, volunteering, whatever that you enjoy, right? So, staying in touch. So, this is another important aspect. Again, because of the day and age that we are in, there is a lot of possibility to stay in touch through technology, through social media. So, trying to ask for support, trying to reach out to friends or family, loved ones, whoever can help you out to teach you how to communicate with people over um, like social media, or how can you stay in touch with friends and family that way, right? So, this way, you can continue to stay in touch with people you love using technology. So, of course, like video calls, social media, all of that. Fostering new roles and interests. So, again, as I said, hobbies can look very different now from what it looked like when you were younger. Maybe you enjoyed different activities when you were younger. Now that you're growing older, it's okay for you to explore new hobbies and activities that you enjoy currently. Instead of like, there's a lot of biases also, that there can be biases and limitations on what kind of hobbies um, you might want to try. But it's not necessary that you have to fall into that you don't have to always go for book clubs or gardening. Sometimes it's okay for you to even start exploring physical fitness activity. Maybe going to a dance class or whatever you feel you are more comfortable in, that you would like to at least try and see. So, then mentorship, trying to mentor younger generation, irrespective of whether you used to work, uh, irrespective of whether you had a career or not. Maybe you did not work. Maybe you had more interest in art, or you had the other interest areas. You can, of course, explore that. You can, if you have experiences in different fields, you can try to um, find a way to inspire and also mentor younger generation, which can help you to support the younger generation. At the same time, it can give you a sense of purpose and recognition for your own life experience. So again, this is not limited to people who had a full-fledged career alone. It is for anyone. Educational pursuits. You can again, like, learning, if learning is something that you always enjoyed and you felt like you never had the right time or the sufficient time to learn something, this is a good opportunity for you to try and learn something new, something that you always wanted to learn, irrespective of how challenging it is. As long as you enjoy it and you want to do it, it is really nice if you could try something like that. Because again, we spoke about how this stage can bring up a lot of guilt and unfulfilled dreams as well. So trying to look at what are the things that you can do at this stage and finding a way to do with the help of your loved ones can again be very beneficial to you. Positive self-talk. This again is something that plays a vital role in each and every one of our lives. So, self talk is basically how we treat ourselves and how we talk to ourselves, right? So, if you are not being kind to yourself, then it becomes very difficult to treat yourself right. So, when you are already dealing with these new changes, you are going through a lot of um, these changes in life, it can be very hard to like go through it or see a solution to it if you're being very hard on yourself. So trying to be kind and patient with yourself, maybe new challenges, new because of how new everything is, you might be facing some kind of setbacks, and it's okay. It's okay that you are facing that. It's new, it's scary for everyone. So it can be okay. You don't need to even be positive about it. Just let yourself experience what you're going through and allow yourself to find the way. So one of the ways to do this is challenging these negative thoughts or countering these negative thoughts. The easiest way to do them is to ask yourself, would you be this hard on yourself if you were talking to a friend or a loved one? Very often we are not that hard with our loved ones, but we always become too harsh on ourselves, right? So try to counter these thoughts. If it makes you feel like you are inadequate because you are not able to do or adapt the retirement phase or this new stage of life, then it's okay to reassure yourself that you will find your way through this and you will find whatever you can do at this point. And what you used to do and what you did for others is not the only thing that holds value in life. So, trying to find new ways to love yourself and to be kind to yourself is very important. Reflect on accomplishments, no matter how small you felt it was. It could be like you might have not had a career. You might have not, maybe you wanted to, maybe you didn't want to, but you just didn't have a career. It's okay. You're not any less or different from a person who had a full-fledged career. Both parties can have their own set of challenges and difficulties, and both parties did make their own contributions. Maybe with someone who had a career who earned uh, their their income might have been the plus point there, but at the same time, the contribution you made by helping and taking care of your family matters equally. So reflecting on that is very important. Um, Providing opportunities and giving back. So this is something that you can try out. So very often, so we go through difficult times and we sometimes feel helpless. So even if we are going through a lot of confusion and difficulties of our own, there is a possibility once we start looking at what we can still do for others, how we can contribute to others, that's when you discover that there's so much more you can do, that maybe in certain ways you have limited yourself. So it is very nice to try and do some volunteer work or to support some cause that you want to support, right? So this could be either volunteering, maybe just visiting some shelters, or wherever you like to spend time, what you are interested in doing. These contributions again can make you feel that you are still able to do whatever you can. This can make you feel um, purposeful, right? Again, that also includes charity work of environment or advocacy for any important cause that you uh, feel aligns with your own personal values. Maintaining physical and mental health. This is a very important aspect given the situation, how challenging it becomes. This is again important in all aspects of life, all stages of life, but this is especially important when you don't feel so great. You begin to transition to this new stage. There's a lot of difficulties, changes happening. So it's very important for you to try and do whatever you can to take care of yourself. Just like how we discussed about volunteering, giving back, trying to still do whatever you can. The same way, you need to be able to take care of yourself. So the kindness that you give out to other people is the kindness that you need to give yourself as well. So this might be a challenge because all your life you might have spent time taking care, providing, doing things for other people, and it can be difficult to start looking at yourself, to start paying attention to yourself. But this is just as important as taking care of other people. So I would recommend you to try to do it in whatever ways you can. It could be physical activities, it could be healthy lifestyle. Maybe you choose what are the changes or healthy lifestyle changes you want to make. Because, of course, we again want it to be sustainable. So uh, try to be like kind to yourself and do what you can. And doing meditation, mindfulness, all of these can help your mental health and physical health. So that's something that you can do. Fostering meaningful connections with family and friends. Again, fostering an open communication um, can help you to engage in more meaningful and active listening. When you are going through this situation, you can also welcome other people. Maybe your other family members also are going through some difficult aspect in their own personal life. So hearing each other out, to hear and support each other out, can be really nice because you can offer each other support. Spending more time. Yes, it will be hard to spend time with maybe even grandchildren, or because you are taking on the role of being grandparents. And when you spend a lot of time with your grandchildren, it might be hard to bridge the gap. But the more time you get to spend, the more you get to know each other, the more like there's a possibility for a better relationship, better bond between you and your loved ones. Another important aspect is to seek professional support. This is something again that everyone struggles at different stages of their life because it's so hard for us to be vulnerable and um, to be open and honest about what we might be going through. But this is vital at any stage of life. So, taking therapy, counseling, or joining a support group, if you are going through grief, going for grief counseling, all of this is very important for us to do. As you are already going through this stage in life where it can be overwhelming often. It's better not to like overwhelm yourself even more or add more stress to whatever you are already going through. So it's better for you to reach out, ask for help, ask your loved ones, let them know and keep them informed that maybe I do want to consider taking professional help, taking therapy, talking to someone other than your family members, right? So sometimes it can make it hard. So everyone is going through a tough time. So it can be hard to depend on friends and family alone. So at this point, when you try to reach out to a professional mental health professional, then it can be nice for you to have a space that you can talk about your concerns and receive the support you need. Acceptance of the aging and the physical changes. As hard as it might be to accept that, yes, you are older now, uh, you can also change the narratives of aging. So it doesn't necessarily have to be seen as a um, disadvantage. Rather, there's a lot of advantages to this stage of life as well. So this could be that, recognizing that you have more time to yourself, you have time to relax, you have a lot of life experiences through which you gain wisdom, and you can recognize the small contributions you make, the accomplishments you make every single day. And this might be used as a time for you to look back in life and look at various stages of your life through which you contributed through the whatever nice blessings, good things that happened to you, and the good things that you did for other people. And be kind to yourself. Self compassion, again, is essential. So be kind to yourself. See how you can take care of yourself at this point of time, and recognize that you deserve to be treated with love, and you are enough with everything that you have done. You are enough. Adapt to limitation. Accepting that you might need more help at this point of time can make it very easy for you, and it can also make it easier for everyone around you, because often it is when we don't ask for help that is when we struggle a lot. So when we ask for help, when we get the support that we need, it makes our life easier. At the same time, we can focus on other important aspects of our life. Role transitions, again, reframing retirement, um, seeing this as an opportunity to travel, to have new passions, to rest, to do new things that you didn't have time to do previously. Rediscovering purpose and meaning. Every stage of life can bring its own meaning, and it can be fulfilling in its own way. So trying to look at it, trying to believe that there is a contribution you're making will help you begin to see the contribution that you are making. Navigating through technology and modern life. Again, there might be a lot of difference life as what you knew before uh, might be very different when you think back and look at life, like how it was for your parents or your grandparents, it can be very different for yourself. So focusing on uh, more onto the advantages, more onto the good things that are happening can be beneficial. At the same time, whenever you see a setback, whenever you struggle with something, whenever you feel like this was simpler before, You could talk to your loved ones about it, and they might be able to help you out with that. And maybe you can bond over it, you can work through it and find a way through which you can stay connected and um, be yourself at this point of time. Embracing new trends. Just because you are growing older, it doesn't mean that you have to only like certain things. You can like whatever you want to. Try to explore um, new things. Maybe you like to use social media, maybe you like online games or blogs, reading stories, or whatever you want to do that is interesting at this point in time. So that can also be very beneficial. We're going to then we can also look into some spiritual or philosophical exploration. What does that look like for you now? What does your spiritual or religious engagement, is that something that you want to do? Is that something that you want to be engaged in? If you want to be engaged in it, then this is a good time. Since you have more time for yourself, you can participate and you can be part of practices more often. You can engage with the community. So there's that, and finally, gratitude. Remembering to be grateful for every stage of your life, recognizing that each stage of your life was not the same. Just because you feel like you did more, achieved more at a certain stage of your life, doesn't mean that you are not like doing enough at this point. Every part of your life, every stage of your life is equally important, and your contributions are valued. You matter, and everything, every small thing that you do is important for you and for those around you. So these are the thoughts and these are the uh, perspectives that you can develop for yourself. So uh, try to focus more on to how you can take care of yourself, how you can work through whatever challenges that exist currently, right? So lastly, as we are moving towards the end of our session, I want to just ask a few more uh, questions that you can think of. You can share whatever comes to your mind. What do you feel is like advantage of this stage of your life? How do you see it? Again, anyone can answer either from your personal experience or you can share even the experience of your loved ones. All right. If All right. So in that case, we'll just wrap up our session. So I just want to conclude that by addressing each of these setbacks or challenges that you are facing at this stage of your life, you can really start to see a different perspective at this point, and this can uh, help you rebuild and reinforce a positive sense of self worth and identity. Empowering yourself to discover new roles at this point, engaging in activities that you find meaning in, that align with your own value system, embracing the changes that come with age, be a really good thing where it can bring a significant difference in how you view yourself and where you feel you stand in this world. So, in conclusion, I want to really say that, like, our self-worth and identity does not depend on only a, um, a stage of life where you have done the most you can, but in every stage of your life, it mattered and it surely does now. Whatever you do now, even your presence, even a smile, or even the smallest thing that you do at this stage has its significance. Irrespective of how small it might look, it matters. And I'm sure that your loved ones and your um, family do recognize that. And learning to help each other out, to support each other out, and to be kind to yourself is important. So remember to be as kind as you can to yourself, the same way you are kind to others. So that with that, I want to close our session. Anyone has anything to say, any questions that you want to ask, please go ahead.
Hello. Yeah.
Yes.
So okay. So Abhi, is this session over? Would you like to wrap it up, Abhi?
Yes, I did do the conclusion. Yes.
Okay. So Abhi, Sangeeta ji, is there anything you would like to add in? Any questions?
No, no.
No? Everything clear?
Thank, yeah.
Okay, so we will wrap this session up. Thank you, Jannat.
Please.
Yes.
Janet, sorry.
Yes.
Janet again. I'm
Yes.
so sorry. Yeah. So thank you. Thank
No
you for
problem.
everyone who's watching this on YouTube, everyone who's watching this on the app. Um, so we will conclude this session. So this session will be available on our YouTube channel as well as on our app. So you can watch it there. And I've also tagged the links through which you can connect to us. You can connect with Able Mind. Okay, so thank you everyone for joining. Thank you, Janet. Thank you, Sangeeta ji. So we will conclude
Yes.
this session. Okay, thank you
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
And bye bye.
Bye. Thank you.